Doing back-to-back videos. I'm trying to upload as much as I can over this weekend. Hobane, ho na ntho tse ngata tse etsahalang ka nako e one. So I'm trying to cover as much ground as I can. But fair to listen, we are the new media. So I don't know where you're getting your news, but I hope you're not getting it from mainstream because mainstream was to the agenda. And if you are still somebody that blindly follows or believes the mainstream media, I can tell you for free that you are being lied to and you're being misinformed. How about Otaban Nete? You must follow independent journalists and content creators who care about their countries, like we care about South Africa, and we're making sure that we are countering every narrative, every false narrative in the mainstream media, repaying, and we are dealing with these lies decisively. We need more of you to create channels and have a presence on social media to make sure that we can rebut and repel all the lies that are being told about particularly Black South Africans because we've been targeted since the white genocide nonsense. We've been the targets of the lies, the deception, and misinformation, and there clearly is an agenda against us to try to destroy our reputation, to try to destroy our name with falsehoods, and we must come out in our numbers to disprove all of these things. I want to give a quick shout out and congratulations to March and March for a successful protest that got international exposure with the BBC. Um, Much needed, and it's the numbers, the people that came out in their numbers. Shout out to KZN, shout out to the great nation of the Zulu Kingdom, and their patriotism for the entire country, representing us proudly. Ra leboha haholo for ho lwanela naha ya rona. Mme ha re nne re tswele pele ho etsa ntho e re e etsang, being patriotic South Africans, because I'm telling you guys, there's light at the end of this tunnel, and we are getting closer and closer to the country that we envision for ourselves. It's been a long process from fighting apartheid to fighting illegal immigration. Mare, um, the more around our world, the more we can begin to fix things and put structures in place that are led by the people, because that is what democracy is. It's active citizenry. It's us leading ourselves. We don't need the government. Re ba hloke. Ba re nyele di. Ba sela hampe batho bana. Ba dutse ditulong tsena ho ja ditjhelete tsa rona fela. And it's high time we take responsibility for our country, because convenience comes at a cost. You lose a lot of your sovereignty with every bit of convenience you allow yourself to experience. Hey, so Bafet ke ntse ke tsa ntho tse ngata hona jwale tlaleme. So if utlwa tanyana, just know hore ke a sebetsa ka mona. Ke a sebetsa ka mona banna. Jwale he, I have another video for you which is very heartbreaking because yeah, Buffett, this next video, heartbreaking. So ke tlo le bontsha di back-to-back videos. Sa pele ke tlo qala ka ho na le mme o mong a tswang wa le Nigeria ne. So a buang ka hore Nigeria ha ena baetapele ba ka leadang naha ya bona in the right direction. Mme wa re eletsa hore haebe rona re itshepisitse ka batho banana, haebe rona re emetse boetapele ba Nigeria hore ebe bona ba re bontshang tsela mona Afrika, then re fosahetse. Ke ntho eno kgale re etse ba rona batho ba batsho mona South Africa, hobane re se re na le exposure ya ma-Afrika ba bangata, mme re elelletswe hore batho ba ha bana boipuso, mme ha bana bokgoni ya hore ba ka kgona ho etella pele ba bontshe batho ba bona tsela. Ke ka hoo rona re leng batho ba South Africa re itekileng hore we're going to lead the African continent. Re ba bontshe tsela. And the way we're doing it is by forcing them to go back home, to go and fix your country. You cannot avoid it. You're going to be hearing this thing for multiple generations. Hobane hape bojolofina ba sentse South Africa hobane bentse bana. Now we're dealing with a multi-generational thing. Just to show you how spiteful these Nigerians and these foreigners are, they come to South Africa with the intention of making children to make sure that the problem stays in the country over several generations. But we must be honest about this thing and not shy away from it. But it's okay. And it's something that for multiple generations they're going to be hearing it. Go back to your country, fix your country. That's what's going to make Africa great, not forced immigration, which is a globalist agenda. Little do these African migrants know they are being used as a part of a globalist agenda to create a one world government and a new world order where we lose all our human rights and we're controlled centrally. I get that they're trying to make countries collapse because it's easier to control continents. Skalabala, we used to have nations before there were countries. They collapsed nations. Many nations were lost in that process, including cultures and indigenous cultures and indigenous languages. South Africa has many, Southern African region has so many nations that were lost for this idea of a country to emerge. So countries destroyed a lot of indigenous cultures, a lot of indigenous nations. And now they are collapsing countries and economies and currencies to give birth to continents now with no borders, which is going to spell chaos. We're pushing back against this thing. It's a much deeper agenda than this simplistic idea of xenophobia. This simplistic idea of xenophobia is nonsense, and it's being peddled by the globalists who control the media all over the world. Any pushback against this forced unity and this forced immigration, you're labeled a racist, a xenophobe, a nationalist, ke hape e nngwe ba ratang ho bitsa tsona, a populist, ke e nngwe hape ya bona. So, and these things are manipulation techniques that will not work. It's gaslighting techniques. But re hodile, re baholo, man. We can see through manipulation. Ha re bana. And it's insulting to our intelligence that our government is treating us as if these things ke ntho tse re sa kgoneng ho di bona. Ra di bona ntho tsena, ra di utlwisisa. We are not understand exactly what's going on. Wa bona taba eo? Jwale, I want us to sit back, relax, and I hope you don't have any alcohol in your hands. Bafete, this is the time for focus. No alcohol, no groove. We are at war. Rintwe. Kopa re focus on the mission ahead of us, the assignment in front of us, which is to restore our country's sovereignty and to work together. All South Africans, irrespective of race or culture, we must work together. That's the only way we're going to overcome this thing. And this is also a message for the entire world to do the same thing, because halana bokgoni to overcome this thing, lelebang, you must come together within your countries to fight the globalist agenda. There's a globalist system at work, at play. Your enemy is not somebody from a different culture. Your enemy is not somebody from a different race. No. All these racial groups within the countries and within the borders that have already been established, because that's a starting point for us. We must work with what we have. You can't now try to redefine the border. We don't have time for that. We work with the borders, within the borders. You make peace with your people. Zimbabweans, stop. Your Shona hates towards the Ndebellas must stop. Before you want to unite Africa, unite yourselves. Let's do simple things first. In fact, unity is not even necessary, to be honest. All we really need is an understanding, Yaore, who the enemy is, and to work within our own cultures, build and develop ourselves, and where necessary, we come together. Unity doesn't mean crossing borders into people's. No, we're not there yet. We're not saying that that's not something that we aspire to one day, but there must be order and there must be discipline, and everybody must be at the same level of civility and civilization. Or else it's not practical. And in fact, it's a security risk for the countries that have developed themselves and do have resources and that have worked hard to get themselves to a certain level. So just like you, the way you work hard for your own household, in your own homes, you can't have your neighbors coming in to abuse you based on the hard work and the resources that you have accrued over a time. You worked hard for those things and you deserve to enjoy them with your family. It cannot be that after you worked hard, now your neighbors want to come to your house and talk about freedom of movement. It's nonsense and it must be condemned. Our grown ups. Each country must take responsibility for what they are doing, because you guys are allowed to vote in your countries and you're allowed to revolt against your own government. So you must fight. And yes, that includes dying for what you believe in. If future generations are going to have a future in your country, it requires a sacrifice from your own people. You cannot flee, come to South Africa, and then talk about Mandela. Mandela's not here about it. When I want to deal with KZN showed you something. What's possible? We can go back to 2008 and you guys will not like it. Financially, you're very arrogant and it won't take much. You guys are cowards already. We can already see you guys buckling. We're trying to speak so nicely to you guys, to go home, go fix your country, because this thing can turn ugly and we don't want it to get to that point. We already told you we don't care what the media is trying to typecast us as by calling us xenophobic, because we know we're not. And anybody with any sense around the world knows that all of this gaslighting is being pushed and peddled by the globalists. Back to this video. Buffett, this is a heartbreaking video. A compassionate lady here tried to help a Nigerian boy. I mean, this video is very long, but I wanted to highlight a particular moment where she talks about how she got scammed by a 6-year-old Nigerian boy. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The fact that a 6-year-old could take pleasure and pride in being manipulative. Buffett, this is witchcraft. Manipulation is witchcraft. You must understand. And Nigerians have turned it into a sport. And it's important for us to call out Nigerians because they are going all over the world calling themselves Africans and misrepresenting the rest of the African countries who are working hard to develop themselves in their own countries. They're giving all of us a bad name. And I want the whole world, please share this video, like, share it with everybody so that the whole world can be exposed to the fact that Nigerians do not represent Africa. Nigerians represent Nigerians and they must be isolated. Don't associate us South Africans with what Nigerians are doing in your country. Nigerians are terrible people everywhere they go. They have a bad reputation and the most banned passport in the world, but they love to act like the victims. Anyway, I'm going to, my last video, I talked about how Nigerians love to play the victim, even though they are the ones antagonizing other people. But anyway, back to the topic. So, this lady describing in much detail, talking about Nigeria. And like I said, you cannot say I'm xenophobic because I'm showing Nigerians the opinions of other Nigerians about themselves. I'm letting them speak to each other, to one another as a community, as a country, to help them reflect and be able to sit down around the table and solve their own problems. You're not going to hear it from me. I might provide commentary here and there, but for the most part, I'm going to let this lady speak and be the one that gives you guys a perspective as Nigerians. So if you're a Nigerian listening, you need this. Pay attention, close attention. Come close. Increase the volume. Put the volume up. Have a pen and pad ready, listen closely, take notes, and understand. And then, camarada lady on na kito ba pala video ya Chimdi. Chimdi is a regular on this channel, Wamatseba. He always comes with the facts, and he always comes with the perspective that Nigerians need to hear. So, kya kopa haholo bato haholo. Let's share a video yenana, give it as much exposure as possible, particularly to Nigerians and Africans at large, foreigners that believe in this one Africa nonsense and forced migration, illegal migration, talking about we are one Africa. No, there's no such. Okay, you are also a citizen of the world. Does it mean you can go anywhere in this globe and it's okay? No, you're going to get kicked out because there's sovereign countries that you have to respect with their own laws and their own cultures. So stop with this childishness of saying one Africa when you want to reap the benefits. If it's one Africa, go to Tanzania, go to South Sudan, go to countries that are experiencing conflict, reborn, one Africa. Stand in solidarity with them by going there and fighting and helping them fight their battles. Don't be a coward sitting here cozy in a first world country living a soft life talking about one Africa. You're cowards, man. And you guys are hypocrites. You've already been exposed. We see through all the nonsense. Anyway, before I cut you guys up to smaller pieces, let's go to the topic of today's video. Like I said, it's a very long video. The lady's talking about many different things, but in particular, I found it interesting when she started touching on this particular issue of how she got scammed. And then you'll hear Chimdi commenting on it as well, that Nigerians take pride not in anything except being able to trick you into taking a loss. That is success to them. And that's shameful.
Yeah, I don't think Nigeria is able to lead Africa forward. I've come to that sad realization. I'm Nigerian, and while Nigerians are good at many things, very creative, and we're just generally cool people, right? But you see this leadership thing? No. This year, Patrice Lumumba and Julius Malema came to visit, and the gist of their visit was the same. Nigeria, Africa is waiting for you. But you see, if Africa keeps on waiting for Nigeria, we will not move forward. It is time for us to look for leaders that actually exemplify the qualities and values of leadership that will lead us to freedom. Nigerians have a major problem with power. We don't know how to deal with it. We don't know how to be kind. Just kindness is so difficult for us. We're so used to taking advantage of ourselves. So brotherly kindness is just absent here. Wickedness, cruelty is how people get by. How I can one-up you, how I can deceive you so that I can get ahead is how we function here. And people that do that are rewarded. So here, bad is good and good is bad. George Orwell, 1984. So I'll give a couple instances. There was a little boy that was begging. Begging is very common here, children begging. It's atrocious to watch, but it happens. He was begging for money, and I felt so bad. Usually I don't like to give beggars money, but he looked so sad, so I gave him some money. I looked back, and he did this. He was making fun of me because apparently once the car drove away, he started to laugh. Basically that he had fooled me into giving him money, and he ran to the group or the family or the group of beggars. He was so proud of himself that he had cheated me. This boy was not more than maybe 6 years old. I was so angry. I thought about going back. I was just like, what am I going to do? But he has learned that if I can deceive you, I'll win. And he was rewarded for it. And it has permeated to every single person here. It is how government treats its citizens, how employers treat employees, how landlords treat tenants, how privileged families treat other members of their families that are not as privileged. It is everywhere. It is how employees are treated at work, the long hours, the notion that I've hired you so I can use you for anything. There's no limit to what I can tell you to do because I have power over you. It's just so bad. And I'll give you another example. There was this lady that we used to work together, and she used to go on bus to work. She used to go enter down for public transport. And then she got a car, and baby girl got a driver. Things were looking up for her. But you know what she said when we were all talking about, we were just talking. An event had just finished and we were all sat down talking. And she said that when her driver does things she doesn't like, she rolls a newspaper and she hits his head with it. Do you see what I'm saying about power? This is someone that used to go boss, that knows what it feels like to not have. Now she has, and look at what she's doing with that power. I don't know. There are several instances of it. I think everybody has instances of this. Just think about how landlords treat their tenants here. It's just pure cruelty. We don't care. Then we won't talk about the government, look at the state of public institutions. Let's look at schools. Start from primary school, secondary school, university. Look at the state of these institutions. Is this the kind of leadership Africa wants for real? Africa really needs to ask herself, is this what you want? Because guess what? This is what you will get. There are good things that are happening here, but there needs to be a real honest look at the person that you're asking to be your leader. Is this what you want? Is this what you want? A country that treats its children like nonsense? Is that what you're looking for? There was a massacre in Lekki. Till date, people still deny it, that it didn't happen. Look at what we did in Biafra. They pretended like it didn't happen, like it didn't really exist. We have not come to a consensus as to the fact that this thing actually happened. Let's mourn as a country. This was a painful event in our history. We just swept it away. Look at what's going on in the north. We're all just going around as if nothing is happening. People are just dying anyhow. We're more concerned about what's going on in Palestine than we are about our own country. We open CNN and be watching CNN. What's your business with CNN? I feel for other people in other countries, and my heart breaks for that. But how have we gotten to a point where we export our own sympathy when at your doorstep is disaster? Do we really think that what's going on up there will not float downstairs? I don't know. I don't know. And it's just like it's everything. It's just everything. It's how we're treating Dangote like he's the enemy. What do you mean by monopoly? What is Amazon? Are you complaining about that? Is Amazon not a monopoly? Like what are people even saying? The guy is giving you okay. So what if it's a monopoly? He's promising you savings. Your pocket will be light, it will be fatter, and you're still fighting. On the day that the plant was inaugurated was the day that Hilda Bassi was attempting her first Guinness World Record. And nobody was really focusing on the inauguration. We're focusing on Hilda Bassi. Please, I don't have anything against Hilda Bassi. Girl is doing what she's got to do, living her own life. It's just how it just shows you where our mind is at. Like we're not even thinking about our future. This man is promising independence. He's promising us freedom. Yet we are looking at somebody that is what did she even? I don't even remember what she did the first time. Please, once again, I'm not knocking her. Please, Miss Bassi, I beg, no verso. I'm not even saying. I'm just like I don't know. But anyway, I don't think Nigeria is poised. I think that we should find other leaders. Look at the Sahel states. Look at what they've achieved. They've kicked out their oppressors. Nigeria is still dancing with France. We're still playing tente with France. Tinko, Abby. I don't get that. I don't understand it. These are known oppressors. These are known, I don't even know what word to call them. I don't know. I think we should look at other countries. Botswana is a good one. Look at leaders that actually care. When you hear their president speak, he speaks as though he loves his country. He just wants people to be happy. That's what we need. Those are the leaders that we need. Let's stop looking at people's potential. Don't look at their potential. Look at who they are. What are they now? What Nigeria is now cannot move us forward. Maybe in the future, maybe when she deals with her trauma. Because what we need is a permanent reset here. I don't know how that's going to happen. We need to go back to factory settings. We are not able to lead. We cannot lead anybody right now. Let's look at other countries. I beg.
But oh, l'écoute to her. Nigerians, I hope you were paying attention. You cannot say it is xenophobia. It's not gonna work because the world has seen through you. Your own people are tired. I mean, this lady sounds completely fatigued. She sounds defeated. She doesn't know how to deal with Nigeria. She says Nigeria needs a reset. Now, what that exactly means, I'm not sure because resets can come in many different ways. But there's something in the Nigerian gene pool that needs to be studied and it needs to be somehow neutralized. This is where I trust science because Nigerians have a pathological mental disorder. They are not normal. That's why they run away from their countries. Those that realize that they're not living in a normal society, they run away. But unfortunately, that thing is in their genes. So they go to a new country to perpetuate the same behavior that they ran away from. It's a paradox. They can't escape it because it's themselves. How can you run away from yourself? You understand? But we're trying. We're here working, trying to enlighten Nigerians, trying to teach them, trying to show them the way so that they can understand their issues. And we're still doing it very kindly, very gently, handling them with kid gloves. For some reason, Nigeria is very lucky in that sense. Nigerians are not treated like adults who have to take accountability. They're treated like babies. We have to treat them like children, our little babies. Oh, no, no, okay, try again. Oh, do it again. We're babying these adults, these grown men with beards that are running away from their country, leaving their women and children behind in an oppressive system. You speak to a Nigerian, they say, there's oppression at home. Okay, why did you leave the women and children? Your women and children are there. You left them. What does that say about you as a man? This is why we can't have compassion for these people. They themselves don't even feel, as the lady said. Um, oh, there was a very important point I wanted to touch on that she said at the end. Yeah, I think that was it. There's a Nigeria needs a reset. That says a lot. But let's listen to Jim. Chimdy's going to break this video down. So I'm just going to fast forward to the part where Chimdy talks about the same video. I just like his analysis of
Yeah,
it.
I don't think Nigeria is able to lead Africa forward. I've come to that sad realization. Yeah, I don't. Africa keeps on waiting for Nigeria. We will not move forward. It is time for us to look for leaders that actually exemplify the qualities and values of leadership that will lead us to freedom.
You see, when Nigerians decide to say the truth, it begins to set them free. Now, let me tell you something. You heard this first from my very video. In the year coming, a lot of Nigerians will switch to telling the truth. You know why? In their lies, they will begin to realize the level of bondage they constrict themselves in. The level of bondage, the level of unhappiness. There is nothing as freeing, as delightful, as living as for you to open your mouth and speak the truth for what it is. I cannot resort to lies. No matter, I can't, please. I can't. I mean, I can't. In the name of patriotism. A lot of Nigerians, you see this lady, this is our sister. She's a Nigerian, in case you don't know. When I say that leadership is not a thing that you you know the funny thing, I've warned other African countries several times. You know, someone tagged me to this video, and the reason that person tagged me to this video is because that person heard me make several pleas to other African nations. You cannot wait for Nigerians. You cannot wait for Nigerians on the development of Africa as a continent. You cannot. You cannot wait on the same people that are soul inhibitors. You cannot wait on the people that are soul deteriorators, that depletes the possible chance of Africa being great. You can't wait on those people. I always tell people, you don't know Nigerians. You don't know Nigerians, yeah? I tell you people, see, listen. A Nigerian is shapen in selfishness. In case you don't know this, I hope this video would allow me. You see, I went to a school in Nigeria where we're taught witchcraft. Let me explain what I mean by witchcraft. In my school, making an A is not the joy. Do you know what the joy is? Where you are the only person that made an A and others failed. That is the joy. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? Making an A in my school is not the joy. You people make A's and they're like angry. They look at the board. You just don't, when you wrote very well, you don't come to the board to check your results. You come to the board to check whether others failed or whether you went above others. And they call it competition without knowing it's witchcraft. Now, this is a tip of the iceberg. This is just me. Imagine this is what we do in the whole secondary school, in the universities, in primary schools. And then you think we would have a healthy society. Nah, we're shapen in wickedness. A success to an average Nigerian, the success that we have, you see, the way our parents taught us success. I'm speaking for every Nigerian, no? I'm not speaking for myself, because I'll tell you the truth, it's not for me to brag. My father brought us up in a British way, so we understand what true life is, right? So the success of an average Nigerian is in seeing that another person fails. I mean, if we're all successful, then Nigerians are angry. Nigerians don't like it when everyone is succeeding. Nigerians like it when only them. See, like in my vicinity right now, I'm only happy when I'm the only person that is rich, while the others are poor. That's fulfilling for me. That's gravitating for me. That's the gratification for me. To tell you the extent at which we have been nurtured, we've been shaped in criminality, wickedness, witchcrafts, and wizardry. That's Nigerians for you. And that is why they resort to criminality. They come to your society to destroy and profit for themselves at your expense. And these are the people you wait on to produce leaders that can carry Africa. You people are joking. You people are Lumumba. I'm sorry, sir, but Jesus Christ. See, all these people, stop making a caricature of yourself when you go out there just because you want to prove to white people that you people are succeeding. I say, you know one thing I love Nigerians about? They're very Ekon, shut the hell up. I am a Nigerian. You can't tell me about my people. All these things you people continue painting is a lie. Oh, Nigerians are the smartest sets of people in the world. Their riches, their doggy. Those things are criminality. That smartness, criminality. That doggedness is criminality. That resilience is criminality. That can't you people put two and two together? People like this and their society is suffering this way. So what if people come out to give an experience or something like that? Like Nigerians, yeah, no, it's just bad leaders that make them go out. It's a lie. We don't have bad leaders. We have people that have been corrupted by the masses. We have administrators that have been corrupted by the masses. We don't have bad leaders. We have people, leaders that have been corrupted by the masses. Authorities that have been corrupted by the masses. By the system that the masses have built over the years. They come around, it's just, Nigerians are great people, it's just that they have bad leaders, they have a leadership problem. No, that's a lie. Do they have leadership problem in the US or Ghana or South Africa where Nigerians begin to purport evil and crime? Do they? Kemira Abubu, Ana Labaja. In the words of Lionel Andrew Messi, please.
Very important point that he touched on there at the end was that Nigerians have a culture, basically a culture of corruption. And that it's not that they have a problem of leadership, it's that they have corrupted their leaders. Sorry, guys. It's that hey mono kilo gangwa ke cabbage. What's a cabbage? If you don't chop it up nicely. Anyway, you'll notice everywhere there are Nigerians, syndicates begin to form. Syndicates that involve law enforcement, that involve courts, the judiciary. That's what we're experiencing in South Africa. And then Nigerians want to pretend like, no, we are already corrupt. No. Nigeria's presence in your country corrupts your people, corrupts your system. If Nigerians are in your country, just know your dating pool has been contaminated because now the women in your country are going to develop a taste for materialism and money, stolen money, dirty money, blood money, fast money. Women don't want to be with a man for any other reason outside of money now and to build together, to build a family, to build communities, societies. Everything must be fast. That's Nigerian culture. So you'll notice these things start to pop up. Uncle P, there's a YouTuber called Uncle P. Go check him out. He talks a lot about culture contamination, which is true. As soon as Nigerians come into your community or society, they contaminate the people and spread what they call success or hustling, which is really criminality, into your society. And you're worse off than you were before them as a people. Again, this is coming from your own Nigerians. It's not me. I'm not spreading xenophobia or perpetuating lies or purporting lies. I'm commenting, making commentary on what Nigerians who are experiencing Nigerian fatigue are saying. The whole world is experiencing Nigerian fatigue. Nigeria, fix your problems. Fix Nigeria. We are tired of you. And we're not going to make excuses for you guys anymore. We're not handling you with kid gloves anymore. The whole world is caught on to your scams and how you function and the way you think. We are analyzing the way the Nigerian brain works, the deformity, the mental deformity of the Nigerian mind. We are exposing it so that everybody understands how these people function. And Nigerians, we can try to counter that by spreading lies about xenophobia. Everybody that comes to South Africa realizes South Africans are very friendly people. So that one is not working. In the same way that the white genocide lie did not work, neither will the xenophobia lie work. Anybody that has experienced South Africa or South Africans knows how kind we are. But what we will not accept is disorder, criminality, syndicates, drugs, prostitution, all the things Nigerians bring with them when they travel. But anyway, guys, that's what I've got for you for now. Like I said, I'm doing back-to-back videos. Then back to making videos. So give me another maybe 30 minutes, then I'm back at it with another banger. Galaba, hold for joining me back there too. Let's Hantle, Hyper Part 2. Hola.